Own your truth.
And what do you mean by that?
Harmonizing your thoughts, feelings, and actions.
I like that. So your greatest power is in your discovery and understanding of self.
That's right.
Finding Happy podcast will help you understand how your thoughts affect your life.
Thoughts become feelings, and our feelings create a halo around us. Finding Happy podcast will help you cultivate favorable outcomes and avoid harboring negative energies.
Wow, I like that. Thoughts become feelings, which then become habits that we practice. Finding Happy podcast will help or give the listener an insight into how what they do is a reflection of their subconscious minds. And it will help you understand how to program your mind to attract what you want consciously.
You deserve to thrive in this life. Find your happy.
Finding Happy podcast. Okay, guys, you're welcome to Finding Happy.
And welcome to Yumi Radio, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you are watching, listening to this. We have on with us today, with myself and Keith, the entrepreneur, Jarayne Pinnock. He is a
actor, producer,
writer, storyteller. He's phenomenal and he's Jamaican.
There you go. Thank you.
He's my mother. What can I say?
Yeah, definitely.
We just met and we were having the conversation and we were like, hold on, we want to capture this conversation, right? So we started off talking about he went to Carrimack because he has journalism degree as well as his first degree, as well as my first degree is journalism.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, Keith.
So I'm Northern Caribbean University, Jamaica, and he is Carrimack. And there's
University of the West Indies.
Is it like a rivalry going on there with you guys?
Yeah, especially in this discipline, in the journalism.
Yes, there is always a war, a fight, a quarrel, a contention, a conversation about it, right? Because we're declaring who's first and who is not first and who is the best and who's not the best. But I think we both agree Northern Caribbean University is the best.
I think we both agree that Northern Caribbean has a good program.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Jarayne, for joining us on our program, Finding Happy. Let me just tell you a little about what Finding Happy is about. Definitely. Finding Happy is really us having conversations with persons who we are inspired by or whose story is empowering and is thought-provoking and is something we want to have a conversation about. The whole motto and concept around Finding Happy is really helping people harmonize their thoughts, feelings, and actions, because we believe that what you think is who you become. Because what you think, you interpret through your feelings, and then you carry out in your actions. And this program started from just, having that kind of conversation just to really connect, help people really connect and become intentional and conscious about the conversations they have with themselves.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
So thank you so much. Keith, can you tell us a little about how you know Jarayne and why you, because I know you instigated this interview, which I'm happy for. But tell us what happened.
I thought you never asked. I thought you never asked. But fortunately, I met Jarayne some years back. I came to my church. He came from Jamaica. I think I knew his cousins prior to him. And one young lady sang really well in my church. Her name is Ashay. I knew her for quite some years. And then I met, I think, another cousin of him that came up. Forgot her name, Jarayne. What's her name?
Holly.
Got her name.
Erlen. Yeah,
Holly.
Holly.
Yes, I met Holly. Yes. So when he came, I actually thought they were actually the family, like, blood, whatever it was. But it seemed that way anyway because they were so close.
Yeah.
You think they're like, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
But anyway, met this guy, very cool, very astute, very, I would say very focused.
Wow.
And it wasn't too long after that he got involved in the church. I believe it was ushering. I believe he was doing.
I was a security guard. I was a security for the pastor.
Yeah, security. Yes. And I watched him, and he was very dedicated, very on point, and that I liked. But of course, we in our church we have men's ministry, and we had.
Is that where all the single men are?
Yes, that's where they are.
Sidebar.
That's where we go crazy. So we had different meetings where we talk about different things, from business to, faith, and that's really
ambition.
Men,
Yes,
the older men would kind of I would bring the younger guys and have them learn some things and prepare early, how to be men, and as I hear him speak, this brother has something going on here, just the way he communicated, the way he explained himself. I said he knows something, he's doing something. And of course, time went on, I heard more and more about him, and found out he was an actor. I'm like, well, let's talk, because I know it's a very interesting field, and not many people, not in our black churches that I know, as black men who has reached his level, that are actors. So of course that drew me to him, and we talked and so on, and I shared some things with him as far as what I was doing, and we clicked really well initially. We just clicked right away.
Wow.
Yeah, man, we just same drive. We are pretty much self-driven, very self-motivated,
right,
and focused.
Right.
So that was what caught me to him, and we've been ever since. It's like we can see each other for distant times, like 2-3 months or 2-3 weeks. It's like when I meet him, it's like, hey man, it's like we just clicked, like real brothers, man. So,
wow, that's wonderful.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Jarayne, tell us, who is Jarayne? Outside of your titles, because you're quite accomplished. Who is Jarayne?
Thank you. First of all, I'd just like to say it's an honor to be here. Thank you, Keith, for making this a reality. And
thank you for being here. He never stopped.
For having me.
Did you get Jarayne? My apologies for the delay, because we've been kind of on a hiatus because we just started a radio station, and there are many projects that we do.
Definitely, I can imagine.
Yeah. So thank you for being here. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. So so in addition to that, first and foremost, I would say that I'm a man of faith. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and I have unusual ambition, I guess. Young boy from Jamaica, Spanish Town, Jamaica. I used to live in Kingston, but I spent most of my days in Jamaica in Spanish Town. And I came to New York to pursue acting. I'm not gonna stop. I acted a lot in Jamaica, stage plays. Started from stage plays for UCCF in college, and then I did a lot of commercials in Jamaica. I did a bigger commercial. I did a Scotiabank commercial. I did an NCB commercial. The NCB commercial went throughout the Caribbean. I had an agent in Jamaica, so I got called up for commercials a lot. And then I did a couple reality TV shows. I'm not sure if you remember them, like College Lifestyle, and then Island Rockers. Yeah, and then Island Rockers. I did Island Rockers as well. And then I decided that I wanted to go big. I wanted to actually do this as an authentic, well-trained on camera, television and film, authentic Jamaican actor. Because unfortunately, brand Jamaica is synonymous, when it comes to acting, is synonymous with bad acting. So I wanted to change that. Bad on film and television acting. So I kind of wanted to help the narrative in that regard. So I came over here, went to New York. The thing with me is I was born in America, but I was raised in Jamaica. So my story is kind of unique. So all this while I could have lived my life in America, but I decided to stay with my mom in Jamaica and finish school there. So I came here in pursuit of an acting career. I got a scholarship to go to NYCDA after competing in the World Championships of Performing Arts in LA, and I got a scholarship from there. I got a gold medal and all that. But I went to a 2-year college in New York City, the smack middle of New York City, and I can tell you that that experience for me was you know, a very it was a learning experience, because I realized I had a lot of walls, especially as a Jamaican. We're very guarded. We're
Sure.
very guarded people. In acting school, some of those walls you gotta pull down, and you know, you have to determine to what extent you're gonna pull down the walls. You can pull down until you have to draw a line. You know, so that in and of itself was a feat, and you know, it presented obstacles that really taught me a lot about myself, and you know, taught me a lot about people. But I completed it. I'm glad to say I completed the program, and then, you know, I got an agent, and then, you know, I got my first audition a couple months out of acting school for Luke Cage. That was the Netflix Marvel show. Yeah, but you know, I didn't get the part, and I was so disappointed, and I realized that the journey was just starting for me, and then I had to come to the realization that I'm gonna, you know, on this road, it's typical for people to hear a lot of no's. Not everybody gets the big break straight out of acting school, and you just have to stick to it. And you know, it's frustrating for me, because you know, you still need to earn money, so you know, you gotta spend your time doing the day job and then pursuing the actual career, because acting is not like every other avenue in terms of careers. It's not low. You work 9 to 5 in acting, and then, you know, whoopee, you go home. No, you have to work until you get that notoriety, because anybody can say they're an actor. You know, it's that kind of field. You know, so you know, I would feel depressed when I'm at my 9 to 5 job, because I'm like, this is not what I should be doing. You know, so there's that I battle with. But I was grateful to get a text message from you know, a place called Central Casting, that, you know, gets background actors for popular television shows, and they contacted me for a show called Power. So I'm not sure if you know that show.
Yes, I do.
Hardwick. Yeah, you know, so
I'm aware of it. It's not something I watch. If I knew
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were there,
yeah.
I'd be watching.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Because now I
it's
will be
probably-
watching.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
it's probably a good thing that you don't watch the show for the most part. But you know, I was so eager. I was shooting something in Jamaica at that time. Real Friends. That's another show that I've been on. Real Friends.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Real Friends. Hold on. Real Friends.
Yeah.
Who produced that show?
Andre Winter.
I know him. I was
Yeah.
working at the National Family Planning Board
Yeah.
when he approached us because he wanted it funded, and we almost did. And then the we had the merge of aspect of the Ministry of Health, the HIV program merged with the National Family Planning Board, and I resigned, and what? Oh my goodness! Because I was going to say, when we're talking about NCU and UE, that I actually have had interns that I've trained from UE. I had a program. Well, the National Family Planning Board had a program that I was the project lead for, and we had university students that we would train. And it was an ICT project, and that's why that project was one we were going to pick up, but then we never got a chance to pick it up. And when you speak with him, please tell him congratulations. It's now on, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It deserves to be, because it was phenomenal. I think Danique, is that her name?
Danique was in the pilot.
Right, the pilot, right. But I saw the season. He gave me I saw the entire thing. It was fantastic. I fought for it, I'm telling you, but
it's you know, exactly. It really had potential in terms of Jamaican acting, because I think that's probably some of the best work in terms of Jamaican television.
It was the
acting.
best I ever saw.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's the field I'm in. So I'm not just speaking as a host. I'm speaking as a multi-award-winning not journalist, but producer and EP.
Nice.
It was quality work.
Yeah. It was unprecedented.
Yes.
It was unprecedented. So you know, and that's why because I remember even for that show, you know, you speak about funding, so you know that's always an issue when embarking on something.
We were getting oh my gosh, we were getting a season. We were actually having dialogue to have the full season sponsored.
Exactly. So, it's always a hurdle to have these things funded because unfortunately a lot of people don't see the vision. But, people like me and you see the quality in it and what it could do for the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I even came down, and they couldn't really, they couldn't pay me what I would, what I would ask for. But I used my own money. I flew down and, I stayed in Jamaica and I shot all the episodes. And I really did it just for the love of the craft because, they paid you, but it's not really about the money, as you said before. But I just did it for the craft. And I'm glad with how it turned out. There's a scene that was circulating with me on social media.
Wow.
And, when I read the comments, that really motivates me. But anyways, whilst I was shooting, and it's funny, during that period, I was unemployed in terms of anything else. I was unemployed in terms of anything else. I was just doing acting. I was doing acting alone. And it's funny, during that period of unemployment was when I got most of my acting done. I achieved most of my acting achievements during that time. And, while shooting that was when I got the connect to power. And then I flew back to America because I'm like, I can't pass this up, and it was such a good decision. I don't regret it at all. I flew back with money I didn't have, on credit cards. I flew back and then I did power, but I don't regret it at all. And then you see myself on a platform like Power. I remember my best friend called me in the middle of the night. He was like, "Yo, son, and he's making a big deal. It's just one of those indelible memories. Like he's making a big deal, and it's those things that keep you going. Like just the memories and the euphoria. So and then I flew back after Power to finish Real Friends, and then I flew back.
I like that. You meant you delivered your commitment. So even though you got something that was seemingly bigger, you still remembered to complete what you started. That's a good thing. Tell me something. Take us through the details, the nitty-gritty of how you got connected to Power and what that experience was like for you.
A little bit about my commitment to Power.
No, your connection, how you got there.
Okay. So yeah, I got that through a company called Central Casting.
Okay, so you have, is that an agent that you're signed to, or
it's no, that's not my agent. My agent got me the Luke Cage audition, and she got me another audition with ABC, but that was a self tape on a single thing. Didn't hear anything back, but Central Casting is more of a talent pool. It's not as personalized as having an agent to talk to and whatnot. They just saw my image. You take photos, they see an image, and if they like you, if somebody from the crew of whichever show is using them to source background talent, if they see a picture and they like you, then they call you. Then Central Casting then contacts you and calls you in and tells you the shoot dates and if you'll be able to make it. And that's what happened. And I was in Jamaica at this time, and then I made I took the risk, and then I flew back. I flew to the States, but it was a good risk because at the end of the day, it's Power. And then when I have that on my resume, it gives it some weight,
absolutely.
And so Rachel, after Raquel,
yeah.
After that, after just waiting for auditions, I told myself, I looked on some of the stories of people that really made it big, like giants in the industry. They made their own material. You look on Tyler Perry, you look on Sylvester Stallone, they wrote their own material. And then I had an idea that I knew was a good idea. When you just have an idea and it's a good idea, nobody can tell you anything. Even if it doesn't get picked up, you have a good idea. I had an idea to blend both worlds, both Jamaica and America, in an authentic way, because really and truly, it has not been done. And if it was done, it was never backed. It was never backed by a major television or production host like HBO or Netflix. It's never been backed by something like that. The most authentic Jamaican American story I've ever seen was Shutters. Outside of that, it's never been done. And if a production company tried to do it, it was not authentic, because they're gonna have some quote unquote Jamaican character that's not Jamaican, because they just grab anybody from the Caribbean and have them put on a very phony Jamaican accent. And I guess to the to Americans, it may sound, that's Jamaican enough. It may sound authentic to them,
but to the real Jamaican, that
to the real Jamaicans, we hear it, right? And it hurt my heart every time I saw it, because I'm like, I'm right here. If they only knew, because I got the training, I spent my money, I got learned you know, and you know, I got the on-camera technique and all that. You know, I invest in this thing, and I need somebody to use me, to put me to work, right? So I ended up writing my own program. I wrote my own script. Sometimes when I look on the script, I'm wowed. I'm amused. I was like, I did this because the only writing I did was journalistic, right?
Wow.
But you know, I figured out my plot lines, and then I said, I'm gonna tell an authentic.
It's the best kind, though. The journalistic
Exactly.
writing is the best kind. You know, to pull
You
information.
know? Yeah, it's funny, right? It helped me. So I decided, I borrowed a lot from my life. You know, I decided I'm gonna tell a story about an immigrant Jamaican boy moving to America, pursuing a degree, or pursuing something, and the obstacles he faces on the way. And you know, I decided to call it Yardy and the Yankees, and I think it's catchy.
I like that.
Yardy.
Yardy and the Yankees. And the Yankees. I like it.
And it's
I'm seeing
cool
two best friends.
Yeah, you know, it's cool. Even that, because I have a clip. I'll show you when I get a chance to. But like, the name is it stuck with me because it's two colloquial terms.
Yes, just in two different cultures.
Exactly.
There's a merging of cultures.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they both start with Y, and the second letter in both words is A. So that really meant something to me. I'm like, I have something here. And then I started shooting, and then I started shooting. I started writing when I wrote a proper scene that I would use as a pitch, you know, the pitch scene, because I had to face reality. I couldn't fund an entire pilot. First of all, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was a original movie or a series, right? Even though I still don't know what it is. I only know it's a good idea. So I wrote something. And then I hired, I hired somebody who I knew from acting school. The best thing about acting school is that it gives you the community.
Connection.
Yeah, it gives you the community. And I use one of my acting coaches. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much. Am I talking?
Oh, no, you're the guest, darling. Go right ahead.
So, you know, I employed one of my acting teachers who had a production company who shot student reels for acting students just out. And, you know, I had him shoot a scene for me. And the way he shot it was not only in, you know, usually reels focus on one actor, the actor who was trying to sell himself, but I asked him to shoot it as a scene, right? So it was focusing on me, and it was focusing on on my partners in the scene, right? Because I'm trying to sell the idea. So I shot that, and then when I saw the finished product, and then when I showed it to both Americans and Jamaicans, and when I saw the reactions, I was like, I know I have something. They were wow, they were blown away, and you know, they're like, this is what everybody's waiting for, like, you know, and this is the time to do it. Like, this is the time to do it. This is the time for diversity. You know, Netflix is trying to tell a lot of
absolutely. That is so. That is absolutely so.
Exactly. You know, everybody tired of the typical story, young person in Manhattan, New York.
Because you see, the whole reality fever has taken over, so people want to see what's real.
Exactly. Yeah. People want to learn about other cultures.
It's the age of YouTube.
Exactly. People want to learn about other worlds. People want to learn other parts in the world. Because if we're going to tell stories, about people, let's tell stories about all people. That's the idea. That's the
inclusivity.
Yeah. You know, that, you know, diversity, inclusivity. So I realized that, and ever since Raquel, right? Raquel.
It's Raquel.
Yeah.
Raquel, okay. Ever since I've been putting all my money into that, and you know, it gets frustrating at some points, but you know, I have something coming up, and you know, even if God forbid it doesn't go my way, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to go to other people, and you know, my journey starts from there. So I'm trying to produce my own project. I want to be the lead in it, but if I can find a Jamaican actor who fits the role better, because I'm even talking to this young man and I like his image, but you know, I don't know how well his acting training is. I saw some of his work. I know where he can use training, but his image, I think he's trainable, and who knows, you know, but I'm trying to pitch this idea, and soon I'm going to show it to an exec who has worked with both HBO and Netflix. And I'm using him as my window in. You know, I work at a bank in the days, and I got introduced to him through a partner at the bank, because the partner knew about my ambitions, and you know, he called me over and said, Jarayne, you know, he has a business relationship with this man And then he introduced me, and the man gave me his contact number. And when I call him, he actually answers. So my father always taught me to spot the opportunity. So I spot the opportunity through that. He actually answers me. This exec who has worked on all these high-profile shows answers my call, and he's taking me seriously. So I'm hoping something comes out of that, and I'm not gonna stop. That's what I can say. So that's what I'm working on. I don't waste time on trying to tell everybody else's story. I'm investing in my brainchild. What they call it, brainchild. My idea. Yes. Yeah, my brainchild, and I believe in it. I believe in it. Yes. Keith believes in it. Everybody knows.
So Jarayne, tell me. I mean, I like what I'm hearing. Now, I hear you talk about you're writing your own stuff, you're creating your own path. I like that. Now, as far as going backwards and see what you've gotten and what's been offered to you, have you ever had something where you're like, me now do that? In other words, I'm not doing that scene or that role. Have you had that moment where you're like, no, I can't do that, or based on my standards or based on what I'm trying to accomplish, I will not turn that down, or you take everything that comes your way, hoping something will grab or whatever? What's your approach in that?
Okay. So I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, at this stage of the game of my career, it's tempting to take anything that comes your way because you're trying to get in. You want to eat. You got bills to pay. You're trying to get in. However, there is a line that I will draw, and I'll go as far as to say that I rather suffer before I take certain roles. I mean, it all depends on the story. What's the end goal? If the overarch message, the moral of the story. So it all depends on this. I'll say it all depends on the story. Even at this stage of the game, I'm careful as to what I take. They're very, in terms of the list as to what I'll not take, it's very small, but
I hear you.
but I for the most part, I'll take what comes my way.
Yeah. I'm the kind of person like you. I don't see closed doors. I really don't. Because I believe that, and that's why I have this program. I believe that everything in the universe is working in my favor. The universe loves me, and everything is just guiding me to what I need to do.
Yeah.
And so we went to New York and we filmed the project. And after we filmed it, we came back. I edited it myself. It took me 3 days and 3 nights because when we got back with it, I did the trailer first and sent it off. The local channels were very interested in it. And then so they gave me 3 days because they're like, where is it? We need it like right now, prime time. Yeah. 3 days and 3 nights. I never ate. I never slept. I didn't even get up to drink tea, like nothing. I was on fasting for 3 days.
Wow.
To make sure I get it done in time. It was, I was told by the awards persons that we were the first independent persons to produce a documentary and were awarded our very first documentary. Yes.
Wow, congrats. Wow.
Thank you. And every single member on the team, we got 8 individual awards.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So I was going to say to you, poverty is not necessarily such a negative thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. It's not necessarily such a negative thing. And I say that because Jamaica is a developing country. Once you've been here, you've lived here, you've gone to school here, you've gone through the culture here, you were not unscathed. You would have been touched by some of it, right?
Yeah.
But what it does, it builds in us this drive.
Yes, definitely.
I heard it in your voice. I heard it in your voice.
Yes.
And that's Andre Winter. I'm telling you, that young man, he kept coming and kept coming and kept calling. And you know what? I apologize to him for me, because even though it wasn't within my power to make it happen, so fast. I'm telling you, the drive was there and I could see it and all of that. But I'll tell you this, you can do it yourself. You don't even need Netflix these days. And I'm not saying you don't need Netflix. I'm just saying, should they say no, you still have other outlets.
Yeah, definitely.
But you pointed something out that's very important, and I want whoever's listening, because if there's another young person out there thinking of it, you started talking about your network. And throughout your conversation, I hear you connecting your networks, the people you've met, and that someone who's an executive. How does how do you leverage your network to achieve what you want? Or how do you plan?
You know, it's about, you know, as my father told me, it's about spotting the opportunity.
Yes.
You know, I think that simple, you know, those words, those you know, those words, learn to spot the opportunity. Quote unquote. It meant a lot, and it had a lot of weight to me because my father is a prominent businessman. He's a successful businessman in Maryland, and when he told me that, when I was trying to glean as much knowledge from him, and he told me, I didn't grow up with my father, so I try to have as much conversations with him when I do see him, right? When he told me that,
important thing, recognizing the opportunity. The most important thing.
Yes, yeah, and so seeing how they can assist you in going further to your goal, but you have to have a goal in mind, right? You have to have a goal.
Yes.
And then spotting what qualities in their skill set or their connects can help you to reach that goal. You know, so you know, I could have easily seen the exec producer as just, oh well, you know, just another producer, and I can share my idea with him, and that's that. But I heard where he was just coming from. He was just coming from Netflix because he just came off the boat producing something for Netflix. So what that tells me is that he has connections with Netflix.
Yes.
So I have to treat him very importantly.
Yes.
Important.
He's an opportunity.
Exactly. And you know,
nice.
It's not a matter about being an opportunist. It's about telling him
you should be opportunistic.
Yeah, it is.
Be opportunistic.
It is, you know, but you know, oftentimes the word opportunist is it's kind of synonymous with being
negative connotation.
Yeah, and it's often synonymous with having an ulterior motive. The reason why I say it's kind of different is that I told him from the get-go that this is my plan.
You are direct.
This is what this is what I would love for you to help me in doing, you know. And I spoke on the phone with him, so he knows my intention from the jump, you know. But yeah, it is in essence, it's seeing the opportunity, right?
Yes.
But and just so it's just about
first you spot the opportunity and know you are leveraging the opportunity.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Just spotting how they can assist you in having your goal, but you must have a goal first.
You have to have a goal because you have to be ready, don't you?
Exactly.
When you connect with the person, you've got to be ready. You have to know what you want. You have to be clear.
Exactly.
What is your ultimate goal? What is it you want from this? From acting?
I want an authentic career. I want to be the first, or I want to be an authentic Jamaican voice in the American film industry.
Wow.
I want authenticity finally.
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. So you want to claim that. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So tell us, what are some of the projects you have coming up, or what are some of the things you're working on? I know you're working on that project that you're going to be pitching to HBO and Netflix.
Yes.
That's your
I mean, outside of that, you know, my friends, you know, my acting colleagues, contemporaries will, you know, call me up for different gigs, some stuff that they have wrote, some connects that they have made, you know, but nothing is set in stone. But like for right now, there's this project that my friend Elijah spoke to me about called 12 Floors, and then I have another filmmaker in Jamaica. You know, he's too busy, so you know, I won't even spend time to say, yeah, you know, and I'm looking forward to that, because chances are he won't even remember to hit me up because he's that busy, you know. But as far as Elijah out here,
how will you make sure he remembers?
How will I make sure he remembers? I mean, I'll remind him. I'll remind him eventually.
Okay.
But it's something that I've
spoken to. Is it something you want to do?
Of course, you know, but he has to be serious enough. You know, he's serious, but I think he needs to fine tune his attention more. You know, you can't be all over the place. You have to have, as Tyler Perry said, you know, I love documentaries, by the way. It's interesting that you specialize in documentaries. I love documentaries.
Me too.
Yeah, there's just life lessons, and what they do is they motivate you. So when I watched the documentary on Tyler Perry, now he said that you need to be focused on one thing, not even necessarily one thing, but keep it close, keep it simple, keep it
pour all your water on one tree. But
yeah, you know, yeah,
don't,
be very focused.
Focused. And it doesn't mean that you can't have branches on your tree.
Yeah,
but you
exactly.
should know what tree you're investing in. You should be clear.
Yes,
this is
because
it.
It's out of that goal that the other opportunities will sprout out of, right?
Yes.
When you do this well, other opportunities will sprout out of that and give life, you know, that goal, when you achieve it, it will give birth to other opportunities. So I took that from him. So right now, you know, Raquel, I don't have any roles just you know, planned or you know
on that thing that your tree.
Yes, and you know, I'm you know, I'm right now. I'm working on you know, getting an editor. You know, I was on the phone with basically my team in America. They're very good at what they do. You know, the acting teacher that helps me out, he's a very important connect for me because he's an acting teacher, he's a director, he's a writer. You know, he's very important, and he has connects, right? And he's the one connecting me to the professional editor who will edit, you know, because I even flew to Jamaica to shoot some stuff for Yardy and the Yankees. You know, that in and of itself is an investment. I hired actors, I hired a cameraman, that same friend that I told you.
Very good, very good.
I hired a cameraman, I hired then a mic man, and then, you know, I had to rent a car, and I'm traveling around, going to the different scenes that I want to shoot, and all these things, and, you know.
I'd love to film your process.
Yeah.
I'd love to film filming your.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Yes.
You know,
Very
and
nice.
even that, you know, it's so expensive, but I just have to keep telling myself that it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth the investment. It's going to be worth the investment. It's going to be worth it.
Yes, it will.
It is worth it because you're currently on your journey and you're fulfilling something. So it is worth it because you're already fulfilling something in you.
Yeah, exactly. I am impressing myself because I didn't think I could commit to something like this. You know, when it really came full circle to me, Keith and Raquel, when I printed when I printed the script, right? What I wrote so far, I blew myself away because it was so much material, and I'm like, yo, Jarayne Pinnock wrote this, and then when I look on the front, you know, I typed it, but when I actually printed it. And I saw, you know, Yardy and the Yankees written by Jarayne Pinnock. It did something in me, and I just have to thank God for that because I'm like, thank you, Lord. You know, you don't really see anything yet, but you thank Him nonetheless. You know,
but when you have the script, that's a big deal.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, Jarayne, Jane. I mean, all this great, exciting news, man. No, I'm getting excited here.
I'm so proud of you, though.
I'm getting excited. So here,
I am excited.
So Raquel. So Jarayne. You're an aspiring actor. You're just about, you know, you're about to blow up any day now. So here's my question: how the ladies, man? How is that going? You know, we got to
tell us about it. Tell us about it.
I'm glad you asked.
I'm
Pressure.
I'm 27. I'm glad you asked.
Sure.
I was preparing for this question.
You're a smart guy.
You know, I'm at 27. I'm 27, and I want to get married soon. But you know, the reality is, you need certain things in place. Well, at least the standard or the vision that I have for my life is, I want to be well prepared before I get married. But I also want somebody to be there during this stage. I want to know the person during this stage, because when
your wings, right?
Yeah, you know, then you get a sense that it's genuine, it's authentic, and at least you want to be able to say, before you get all the accolades, before you get all the money and all that, you want to be able to say she was there. So you know it's real, and then that will give me solace in spending on whosoever the young lady is. And
what if God decided that He's gonna send you your angel when you're almost at the gate or going through the gate to take you through the gate?
Well, I mean, if God does that, I'm hopeful that He will communicate that to me, you know, and let me know that He can go. You know, that you can go ahead.
Yes, to let you in on the secret, right?
Yeah, just a little bit, you know, that you can go ahead, especially if she's beautiful, you know, hint. You know. So you know, but that was rationale behind it. So I mean, everything hangs on this dream that I have, me getting married, me being able to, you know, buy a home, you know, to put over my wife's head, and you know, so she can have a house, so she can
have a room for her. Yeah. We get it.
Mm-hmm.
We get it.
Nice.
27 with a dream. What would you say to young men today who may find themselves, blowing in the wind?
I would say do some introspection. What it is that you like, what is it that you love? You first have to find that out, and then have a goal and have consistency, as Denzel Washington said. Have a goal and have consistency, because it's true. Without consistency, you will never reach a goal, and without your goal, you'll be aimless, right? So you have to do, if you don't know your passion off the bat, do some introspection, because you have one natural life to live. Of course, we're all Christians here, so we know about the afterlife, but in terms of the life on this earth, you have one natural life to live, and you want to make the most of it. You want to find a talent and invest in it. So I would, if they don't know what it is, do some introspection and find that out, and don't be afraid to leap. Don't be afraid to take that risk. If it means that you have to quit a job, and this is the hardest thing, because I'm in that space, that gray zone, where I'm there's something in me that's telling me to do it, and sometimes I believe it's God talking to me, and sometimes I don't have enough faith to take that step, hand in that resignation letter, and put and focus on my goal.
I did it.
And exactly, and you're an inspiration to me, right? And have enough faith to know that it's going to work out in your favor. Have enough courage to hear a no and still not be broken. You have to have faith in pursuing your goal. And a lot of people, I just read a statistic today that 87% of, I think it was, Americans are not happy with.
I'll help you there. 87% of persons worldwide are not engaged. I'm a coach. Are not engaged in their current work.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a success coach.
I think that's the word they
certified.
Use as well. I think it was a word. If it's not engaged, it's a word. Engaged, right?
Yeah, they're not engaged.
It's not a good feeling.
As in, they're not interested. Feeling. It's not really what they want to do.
It has nothing remotely close to their passion. It's a very depressing thing to be in.
Wow.
And the reason for that is, a lot of us, we don't have enough faith to actually go after what it is that we actually want to do. Because oftentimes what we actually want to do is what 90% of people aren't doing. So you feel even stupid, you feel silly going after it. And I tell you what, the people who make it big, all the Kevin Harts, the Rocks, all these people, they are a part of the 10% or the 1% in the world that took the leap of faith to do it. Steve Harvey, said that you have to leave, and that's so true.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. And not just do you have to leave? You have to prepare to fail.
Yes.
And fail hard, but fail forward. Fail forward.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I like that.
And here Jarayne is an example telling you how to do it. It would be remiss of me not to ask you, what was your experience on Power like? What was that experience like for you?
Raquel,
all the young men in Jamaica actors in Jamaica looking up and thinking, oh my gosh, you got there. What was that like? Give us a view.
It was, I always use this word, it was surreal. It was surreal. I could not believe it, because I had started watching Power. As a young Black actor, there are only few shows that meet a certain quality that you can look on and say, I want to learn from that guy. I can see myself doing that. I want to look like him. I want to have that profile. I love how he did that. There are only so much shows with Black male actors that are trained. Exactly. That and meet a certain standard. And I guess Power it was one of the few that fell into that bucket for me. So nice. I started watching it, and it was so surreal. Like, God, it's funny. Let me share a story with you. Right before, when at Normal Manley Airport, my mom dropped me off, and I asked her to pray for me. Because originally I was only contacted to be a background actor in that episode. And I asked my mom to pray for me. I was in the front seat of her car, and she prayed for me, and tears started running down my eyes. And me and her, we were just agreeing. I was agreeing with what she was saying. She was agreeing with what I was saying. And then I left, and I went on the plane, and I went to shoot the scene. And on set, a production assistant just pointed on me, and she said, "You come here." And that in the scene that I'm in, I got camera time. I had interaction with the principal cast. I got interaction with the principal cast because I was bumped up on set. I was bumped up. was on set, and that was favor. Out of all the male extras that were there, the PA hand pointed me and said, "You come here." And then I went there, and then before I knew I was standing behind Tommy. You know, Tommy is the main, one of the main characters in the show. I was there interacting with Ghost. I was treated like a principal cast member. People were putting makeup on my face, and then there was a camera lens right on me. And then I got interaction with Tariq, and then I was talking with them. I got to talk. I got to talk to Ghost. I got to talk to Tommy. You know, I'm there with them, and I'm standing right behind them. Even one of the actresses that I looked up to, that I really admire. She hugged me on set, and she was talking to me. She's like, "Where are you from, baby?" Her name is she's from Love and Basketball, and I'm not sure if you know that.
Sanaa Lathan?
Not Sanaa Lathan. The mother, the girl who plays the mother of Sanaa Lathan's the love interest, the male, the woman who played Debbie Morgan, I believe.
Okay.
They call her Auntie Debbie. I'm here speaking with this lady, and she hugs me. She hugs me, and I was like, look at that, and I don't.
That's a huge accomplishment.
I'm there.
That's
walking
a win.
With Lala. I'm there walking with Lala, Notori, and in the scene, I get a decent amount of camera time. My best friend, he calculated it. He was like, "Yo, you got about such and such seconds of camera time, bro." And
that's a big deal. That's a big deal. You know how much it is for 30-second ad on that channel?
I'm telling you, exactly.
Go Jarayne.
It's a big deal.
So to answer your question, it was just sublime. It was just it was kind of like let me not use that, but it was a surreal experience. I could not believe it. The show that I've been watching, and it's funny, it's funny. Be very careful what people speak over your life. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Be very careful what people speak over my life, because it's so funny. From ever since before I even started acting school, people would say that you look like the guy on Power. You look like the guy.
Wow, look at that.
Actually, you do.
Funny.
You do.
Look at that.
And then, and then thanks, Keith. And then it's so funny that here I am walking behind the guy, interacting with the guy, and then I'm playing a cousin of the guy, because that's what I got bumped up to, a cousin in the family. And
because you look like him.
Yeah, I even had a name in the show. I didn't get my credit what I should have gotten. But it's fine, because what happened was the guy who was supposed to play that character, he didn't show up on set on the day, and then they bumped me up right there and then. And that's
the guy to play that role showed up that day. That was you.
Yeah.
That was you. You see, let me tell you what I've learned as an entrepreneur, which is why I say the universe works for me. You just have to trust that. First of all, I believe that nothing can happen to me unless God says, okay, I'm going to allow it. Because that's what when he talked about after his 40-day of fasting and the devil came, when Job, he said he has to say, yes, you can do it today. You can test that one. It can go through, which means that if there's a delay in your life, it doesn't matter who initiated it. God must have said, all right, I'm going to allow that today. And if God said he's allowing it today, it's his business, right? I always say the how isn't your business. It is your job to be prepared, show up, and execute. And that's what you did. Exactly. You were she never just came and just said, those people are trained, darling. Exactly. They're trained to do their job. She saw you. You were appointed that day. You looked like the person, and you were you were there for the job. You were the job. It was you. It may not have been communicated to you that way. And sometimes God don't tell us what he's about to give us because he has to protect us from ourselves and our minds.
Amen.
Because he didn't expect it. When she called you, you weren't even bombarded because you weren't thinking about it and nervous about it. So you were ready. But it was your role. It was your role.
Exactly.
It was your role.
And at that point, I think I was, the reality is what I believe, that there are points in your life when you're closer to God than others, than other points, right? And I believe at that point, I was close to God. Like I was close to oneness with him. And it's funny, the word says, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. When you're in accordance to God, sometimes there's a light that you exude and you don't even know it, but other people see it. And that it's so funny because that's what the enemy tries to tries to take away from us.
Distract you. He tries to distract you because that's all he can do. That's why you have to maintain control of your mind. It's your mind, T.D. Jakes would say. It is your mind it's after, your mind.
Yeah.
Because you see, the storm can come in, but if you never see it or you never think about it, it doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
It's your mind.
Another thing to note is it's something else that another indelible thing happened to me on that day. The lead Omari Hardwick, because I took it very serious. I was emotional. I was ready. I had tears coming down. He looked on me and I made him do a double take because I'm holding the coffin. In the scene, I'm holding a coffin. It was at Raina's funeral and I'm holding a coffin and I'm walking out with the main family. And in the scene, he does, he not in the scene, but like on set, he did a double take on me because he couldn't believe that this guy was so in character. And I was emotionally full. I was more emotionally full than I would go as far as to say than everybody on the set. And when he looked on me, he, it ignited a seriousness in him, and he started, because he's the captain of the set, he started talking to everybody. He's like, Debbie, come on. As soon as he looked on me, he did a double take, and he's like, wow. I could almost tell that's what he said in his head. And then after we were done, when we wrapped for the day, I reached out my hand to him and I was like, it was a pleasure working with you, Omari. And he was like, hey man, I'll never forget this. Word. Hey man, hey, he pointed at me and was like, yo, good work today, man. You're real focus. That's exactly what he said to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
The real focus. And it meant a lot to me taking it from him, because I have a list of actors, of 5 actors, I think it's like my top 5 actors, and he's on it. And to have him say that to me, this Jamaican, little Jamaican boy from Spanish Town, it meant a lot to me. And after that experience, I knew I was doing something right. And
if you were to listen to this podcast right now, what would you want to say to him?
I would want to say, thank you, Omari Hardwick. That meant a lot to me, and you may not know this, but it gave me a lot of motivation. And I would like just tell him thanks for being an inspiration to me, because just seeing him and hearing his story, if you hear his story, it's a rough one. He slept in his car and all that. He lived in his car, couldn't afford his bills before he got the big break. So thanks for being an inspiration, and continue being a good actor.
Wonderful. 3 things you'd like to leave with the audience before we go. 3 life lessons you've learned that are valuable to you.
Love the Lord God with all your heart.
Okay, good.
Follow your passions and have faith to take the lead. Have faith to take the lead.
Yeah. Take the lead.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jarayne, for joining us on Finding Happy.
Thank you for having me.
Our absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. I know you're going to inspire listeners. I know you are. And you know what? I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that your project will be successful. And we're here if you need us.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Raquel. Thank you so much, Pete.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And let me say lastly, it was a pleasure, my brother, from another mother. I see you there. I see you are one of those pioneers, and you're going to actually, I'm sure, inspire a lot of younger men and young people in general. I see you really making a mark and a trail that men are going to want to follow. So even me as an older guy, an old gentleman, I admire you and what you're doing. I'm just saying, success is yours, and man, go out and get it, brother. Behind you. If I can help in any way, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Keith.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Raquel.
Oh my goodness, that was such a wonderful conversation, wasn't it?
It was absolutely amazing.
I'm so proud
more than
of
I thought. Yes, and more than I knew.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he had such an extensive
resume.
Yeah, I was really impressed by that.
So driven, so focused, so you know what? I think he would make a very good mentor.
I think so. And you know what I like about him?
Yeah.
He was willing to put his money where his mouth was.
There are lots of persons with good talent, great talent. Yes. And it's so funny because I've been thinking about it. Persons I've seen people who get things just handed to them. Like
I've seen that too.
On your lap.
I know.
And it's like they're still saying, I don't
get it.
have. And here is this young man who is going out there and he has to be making it happen. Not one time did I hear him say his successful father had to give him money or he's going to daddy for something.
Yes.
You know, and I paid attention to it.
Yes.
And he's so driven, so focused. He you know, he showed up and he was ready. And because he was ready, he was able to shine.
Yeah.
When given the chance. That's amazing. Spot the opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I call an inspiring story, you know?
Yes, it is. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us, and keep listening to Yumi Radio.
Own your truth.
And what do you mean by that?
Harmonizing your thoughts, feelings, and actions.
I like that. So your greatest power is in your discovery and understanding of self.
That's right.
Finding Happy Podcast will help you understand how your thoughts affect your life.
Thoughts become feelings, and our feelings create a halo around us. Finding Happy Podcast will help you cultivate favorable outcomes and avoid harboring negative energies.
Wow, I like that. Thoughts become feelings, which then become habits that we practice. Finding Happy Podcast will help or give the listener an insight into how what they do is a reflection of their subconscious minds. And it will help you understand how to program your mind to attract what you want consciously.
You deserve to thrive in this life. Find your happy.
Finding Happy Podcast.